7 TV, and today we bring you a special episode dedicated to one thing and one thing only: the news that Man United's manager, greatest manager, David Moyes, has been sacked after tragedy 9 months. And we'll go to our resident Man United fan, Sam, with his immediate reactions. So, Sam.
Well, I'm slightly shocked that we've actually sacked him because I didn't think we would have actually sacked him. I mean, he's a shorter-serving Man United manager now. I think it was somewhere around 300 days he was only in charge for. But then again, he didn't really give them much choice, to be honest with you. I mean, Man United against the Merseyside teams this season, we've been so poor. We've lost 3-0 and 2-0, and I think, barring the Olympiacos performance in the Champions League, probably the two worst performances I've ever seen from Man United. So I think the Everton game was the final straw. But if you just go back to the start of when he was appointed, I don't think he ever got the respect of the changing room in the first place. And I mean, there was sort of signs there already, like in pre-season when we were losing to these teams, these next Chinese teams and these Asian teams, like we were losing to them at 1-2-0. Sorry, Julian.
Shots fired,
we were
yeah.
losing like 1 or 2-0 to them, yeah. So like the signs are there, you know.
I don't know. Look, I think it's a combination of things. I know a lot of people said, not just Man United fans, but other fans, saying that they should give Moyes more time. But I'm under the impression that he lost the dressing room, and I think when you lose the dressing room, then it's the board don't trust you anymore, do they? Like with signings, because these are the players that will be playing for you potentially next year. If they don't believe in you, then there's no hope for you next season, really, is there? So I think combination of loads of things, transfers, the way he managed some of his tactics and some of his formations and stuff like that, combination of things. I think the Glazers basically just had enough of what's been happening at United. From a team that's won the title, now to not even getting Champions League, not even getting Europa League, it's a big fall for a team of that stature.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm not like being cocky or anything like that, but Man United is the biggest club in England and probably in the top 3 biggest clubs in Europe. And for someone to come in and say we're going to try and do things, I think he's got it wrong from day one, because I think there's two types of managers that you can have at a big club, and you can have a club that's sort of a manager that's well respected and tries a lot, and maybe he might not get the results that he needs, or then you can have someone like Jose Mourinho who's just sometimes excellent and sometimes embarrassing, like he was on the weekend, and he always gets the results. And I don't think Moyes was either of them. Of course, he tried hard, but he just didn't ever give the impression he knew what he was doing. Like a
There was
lot
a
of
lot of umming and ahhing, no actual answers from him.
yeah, exactly. I've been reading on various reports and stuff like that, you know, of the season and situations and stuff like that. And the word that repetitively came up in all the pieces of writing was clueless. And I hate to say it, but I think he was clueless, and that just makes me think, what on earth really went across the Glazers' mind when they decided to give Sir Alex Ferguson the choice to replace his job with someone else, like Moyes. Just it baffles me. It really does.
I think what you brought it onto is a good point as well. Sir Alex Ferguson in general, I think it was wrong that Moyes had connection with him, as in terms of phoning him saying what should I do with this, as soon as the players find out that he's still maybe potentially contacting Ferguson about decisions at Man United, I think the players in their minds must be thinking, so he's contacting Ferguson to tell us what to do. Does this guy can't he think for himself, kind of thing? So I think that's bad. And Ferguson being in the stands, I know like he's just there to watch Man United games, but I think that put a lot of pressure on Moyes. And Moyes probably won't openly admit it, but he might openly admit it later on that there's probably a lot of pressure from him.
I think before you even get to that sort of helping out and all that sort of stuff, when David Moyes was appointed, he hadn't won anything, and almost, well, basically everyone in the changing room, apart from Fellaini, have won something at least. So they won more than the manager. So how can you have that imbalance in the changing room and expect the manager to be respected, respected enough to get the desired results that United need? And I think they just made a big blunder. Now we're going to pay for it in the next season or two, I reckon, depending on who they appoint, anyway.
Let's go to Julian because I know he was being an Arsenal fan. He's not happy with what happened today.
No, I mean, I think he was let go too early. Yeah, fair enough. They've had really bad results. He's broken a lot of records in a bad way. But if if Alex Ferguson didn't believe in him, he wouldn't have made the suggestions to whoever, like the Glazers, to appoint him. And that's why I think, regardless of who was going to be the next Manchester United manager, he would say the same things he did in the last home game, where he told everyone to get back, to back the new manager, because he knew that it's going to be really tough to replace him, especially David Moyes, because he hasn't won much. Yeah, he's been challenging with Everton to push into a fourth spot. And yeah, it's true what Sam said. Apart from Fellaini, everyone in the Manchester United change room has won something. But as a professional, the manager is no one's bigger. No one's bigger than anyone in the club. But you have to support the manager. If you support the manager, you have to feed off each other. It doesn't matter if he has experience or not. The
Um,
club appointed this manager, so you as a professional football player have to give it your all.
But I think on that, I think you have to be really, really struggling as a manager if you need the full manager of that club to come and say, "Come on, guys, come on, fans, let's support this guy."
I,
If
I,
it was
I think you
gone,
touched on a good point there. I think the players have massive, massive responsibility to sort of take from this. Like, they are probably 50, 60% responsible for this because they're the ones that produce the poor performances. However, they have walked out of the changing rooms thinking, what do I do with the football? Because that's what it looks like. Like, what is he telling them?
I
Like,
think
what is he telling them? Look, in the what's it called? The derby at Old Trafford. When we walked out, we were raped for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Then when we actually got the ball, we knocked it around a little bit, but we never really attacked the goal. Just like Everton on Sunday, what is he telling them to do? Just pass it around in the middle for a little while, and if we get an opportunity, we might score. I mean, I'm sorry, that's just not good enough. That's not what United do.
I've had a problem with Moyes in general just because his press conferences. You guys know how much riled up I was by his Everton press conference, or not press conference, but interview and press conference, where he claimed that Man United dominated the game and Everton were lucky to be 2-0 up, and they hit us on the counter constantly. What game is he watching to say that Man United are dominating that game? Clemens Coleman was down the right wing on the constant basis, but yeah, Man United dominating the game. Yeah, we had 61 possession. How many shots did you have, Moyes? One? Brilliant. That's winning you loads of games.
Well, they didn't actually register a shot in the first half, to be
There
honest
you
with you.
go, man. That's my answer. I don't know how you
Um,
dominate a game like that, then.
um, I understand where he's coming from, saying like we did well, blah blah, because you're not going to go on, post-match media and say, oh, we were appalling, we did this, that, and the other. The players are rubbish.
Yeah,
That's not.
but why do you give some of the blame on the players? As in, say, I'm not saying they're crap. Say they're crap. So say to was the journalist ask him, so what do you think of today's performance? Oh, I don't think we played well. I don't think the players put enough effort into it, and we need to really back our ideas up if we want to get a European place. Something like along those lines. You can say this rubbish, but say something to say that. Look, I'm telling them these things, but the players are just not performing for me. Put the players out there. Let them face the media for once.
That's true, yeah. He might be telling them to do something, but like you said, if he's lost the changing room already, no matter what he says, the players aren't going to listen to him. So what
That's
can he
true,
do
exactly.
then?
And if the changing room's gone, there's no return from that.
Yeah, I agree. That's it. It's game over for you as a manager.
But the
Because
thing is, I think he tried his hardest. He might. You can't you can't have a manager for 26 years and expect the next guy to come in to change it to bring success straight away. Yeah, it's Manchester United. It's ingrained in them that they
I
are a successful team.
I don't get how you can say that though. I mean, we didn't,
I just
as
think
United fans, we didn't expect the title. We didn't expect the European Cup. We expected fourth or higher. Is that hard? Is that a lot to expect?
potentially with the squad he's been left with,
How
Ferguson.
how can you say that when Everton are getting up near or potentially taking your spot? Everton.
Yeah, but Everton have some like good players, man, and I think that's one of
How can you say they're bad players if they won the title by 11
yeah,
points?
because that's what I'm saying. It's Ferguson that has won that title. He's made those subpar players play amazing as well with tactics,
Listen.
with
Ferguson.
motivation.
Ferguson didn't put the ball in the net, did he?
I know, but he gave the players confidence to go and do that. The
So
players that are
exactly,
maybe not
Moyes
performing.
couldn't give him confidence.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So these players were subpar, and Moyes could not bring them to the levels that Ferguson did, and that's why they struggled. Part of the reason they struggled as well.
well, obviously Alex Ferguson has authority because he's like the godfather of Manchester United. But like I said, man, you can't expect the new managers just to come in and just, especially if the players aren't backing him. Then
This is my problem with Ferguson choosing the next man though, because I think if the Glazers had it like in front of them, pick a manager, and it was out of Mourinho, Guardiola, Klopp, so forth, I think they would have picked Mourinho because commercially he is the best option, and he would, even though he's a manager, he would sell shirts because he's Mourinho, and he does funny things, and sometimes they're embarrassing, but sometimes they pay off, and they get people to watch Man United to come to get more season tickets, etc. Um,
yeah, I'm sure they considered him, but if Alex Ferguson, who's been there for so long, comes in and talks to the Glazers or whoever it is and be like, I think Moyes will do a good job for us. Give him a chance. They're not going to say no to Alex Ferguson.
that's just like saying, 25-year CEO served 25 years at Barclays. Let me pick the next man for the job in a bank. That's basically the same magnitude of what's happened. That just sounds crazy dumb.
Do you think the Glazers had too much trust in Ferguson in
I
choosing
yeah
successor?
I like for any job you have an interview process and however many applicants. Why hasn't the same process been undertaken for probably the biggest manager job on the planet?
You're right, man. It sounds like one of those things. You know, when you got to interview and Ferguson got to Glazer, oh, my mate's coming for the interview, man. He's really good. I think you guys should hire him, that kind of thing. And then they've given Moyes the trust. I don't think they probably don't even know who Moyes is, Glazers, to be honest with you.
And
When he was at Man United.
I watched a review a couple months ago of I think it might have been Liverpool home game maybe. And a fan come out and he said he referenced Cantona, he referenced Mourinho, sort of individuals like that, and he said if we had Mourinho in, he would have come in and said, "I'm here. Don't worry, everything's okay. I'm here." Moyes comes in, he goes, "Oh, I'm lucky to be here. We'll try and get it done." You know, this whole word "try," let it go. Like even if you're a player, what if he's trying to do something? What sort of thought does that give you? What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to try as well? Or am I supposed to get it done? So that's confusing in itself.
Let's talk about now something else that contributed to Moyes' downfall. Let's talk about transfers. So we'll go through them. We'll start with the big one that most people think he wasted money on was Fellaini. I think they paid too much for him, first of all. And I don't know what's happened to him because at Everton he was really, really good, dominated teams on his own. And he's had the same manager. All they've done is just move on to another club. And now he seems to be struggling. And what
I
do you
think
guys think of Fellaini?
I think that Fellaini was a good player, but he played in the number 10 role in Everton. And I don't know what planet Moyes was on, trying to bring Fellaini from number 10, trying to play him like Roy Keane, when he's probably got the same strength in him somewhere. I don't know where, but somewhere. And his pace is probably half his pace, and he's shot of confidence as well. And he's not a Man United player. Everyone could see that before they bought him. I mean, this relentless chase of Fabregas and players like that was just dumb. You were never ever going to get them. And the transfer window was not Moyes' fault. Let's get that clear. United were also stupid for letting Gill and Ferguson go at the same time, a double blow. That was just pathetic. Pathetic handling of the situation, all of it.
What do you think, Julian? Fellaini, Mata, the signings?
I think Fellaini is the same for him. You know, it's a new environment. It's a really big step up from Everton. You know, Manchester United, and yeah, he went there because David Moyes knows all about him. But I think it's the price tag as well. Even I think they had a 22 million release clause before a date, which they could have gotten for.
Yeah.
And I think even for 22 million, it would have been too much for him. So that put extra pressure on him, especially when the results weren't coming and the Man United fans were saying, "Oh, this is your."
So, Julian, what about Mata then? You talked about Fellaini. What about Mata?
Matter. It just shows that they can still attract players.
Because he's one of the positives to come out of this, no? Moyes' tenure. Mata, Januzaj's emergence of Januzaj as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Tying him down to a contract.
I don't know if one of the reasons why Matter left was because he wasn't playing at Chelsea, but it just shows that they can still attract players. And if he was given time to finish the season off, replan in the summer, he could have got the players, I think.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think there's a few positives, like you said. But let's see now who's going to replace the man. The Giggs and Phil Neal will take temporary charge for the rest of the season, but they've been told that they won't be they won't be managers. So we'll go with Sam first because he's the United fan. Who do you want next, Sam? Who do you want now at the helm?
The obvious fans choice would be Jurgen Klopp, but he's already ruled himself out. So I think after that would be Louis van Gaal, who's current Dutch national team manager. I think he's perfect for the job because he's had a lot of experience. He's been at the top clubs, so he knows what's expected of him already. And also, he would probably get the best out of Robin van Persie, probably even more than last season, because he's Dutch and they all get along and whatnot. And also another thing, he's mental. So if anyone decides to behave in a way that's not appropriate, he'll do something about it. He's not scared to do it like Moyes was. He would get it done.
What about you?
That's what I like about him.
What do you think, Julian? Like the names that have been tied around, like Sam mentioned, Klopp and Van Gaal. Who else is there out there apart from those two? I personally don't see anyone else unless they grab someone from another club, like Simeone potentially, or someone of that nature that's done really well this season. But do you know anyone? Any other names?
I don't think they can forget about Pep because he's not coming. I doubt Simeone is gonna leave. Klopp's ruled himself out. I think Van Gaal he's the best choice at the moment. He's won it. He's won it all. You know, Super Cup, Champions League. He's done it with the big teams, Bayern Munich, Barcelona. I think he's a really good choice. He's even said that he's always wanted to manage in the Premier League, and why not? So I think he's looking most likely to be the next manager.
Yeah, I think so. Especially like Sam said, the Van Persie connection and stuff like that. And I think one of Sam's, when Sam and me spoken before, one of the things was that Moyes didn't strike fear into his players, and that's one thing Van Gaal can do. And he's got a lot of passion with him as well. So coaching staff is another thing as well. Sam, is Van Gaal going to get his coaching staff?
Well, obviously Van Gaal will bring his own ones, but I think they should put Rene Meulenstein back in because he's one of the original Fergie coaches.
And he's Dutch, so I think that helps.
And also he's Dutch. So there are a few Dutchmen on there. and also they should. I think I would like personally. I would like Ryan Giggs on the coaching staff as well, and also Paul Scholes because I think he's a genius and he commands respect. Scholes and Giggs, they command respect from people that are associated with United.
But do you think people like Scholes, Giggs can get on with someone like Van Gaal?
I think they can
You think?
because
Okay.
they're both greats to the game, and from what I've read about Van Gaal and listened to people's opinions, that he's addicted to football. So I don't think they'll have a problem getting on.
I think
It's not just that. They if Van Gaal does come in and he appoints Ryan Giggs and Paul Scholes, all three of them want the best for the club, so they'll get along no matter what.
Yeah, I can't see there being an issue.
alright, fair enough. But yeah, we'll see. I think they'll have to game after the World Cup, obviously, and they'll probably be cheap. There'll probably be no conversation, all that kind of stuff. So if Van Gaal has touted before that he wants to come to Premier League, so I think probably
He's out
should
of
do.
contract. He's out of contract.
Oh, fair enough. There you go. So I think it'd be easy money. I think he's probably odds on with the bookies as well to do it. But today, guys, that finishes it for today's special episode about Moyes. Just a quick word on the Chelsea game. A really boring game, 0-0. I wasn't really excited by it, but Chelsea go to Stamford Bridge with all to play for and not pick up a away goal, unfortunately. And I think we'll come back to you with the previews of the weekend's Premier League games and also a quick review on the Real Madrid Bayern Munich, which I hope is a good game. But for now, see you next time.